My phone.
What phone is that?
iPhone 14 Pro.
Dope.
Thank you.
Where are your shoes from?
Hello, my name is King. Welcome back to my channel. This video is unplanned. It's very spontaneous because I just saw something very disturbing online and I feel like I need to react to it the way I feel, before I complete it. So this is an excerpt from a video from this channel, CruiseTv, and CruiseTv makes very cruisy kind of videos on their channel, and they make videos like dating in the dark, let's invite this kind of people to come here so that they can have a public discussion about certain kind of things. And I don't know if I can say I enjoy the channel per se, but they make for this kind of entertainment where you can just watch when you're you want to eat a meal and you're just browsing on YouTube, So it's not serious content and everything, but sometimes they used to toe the line of absolute degeneracy and very tone deaf kind of topics, and they do their best, I guess, to present some sort of balance in the conversations they're having. But this is Nigeria, and one thing Nigerians do is their love of money, their worship of money. They worship money, they worship wealth. They feel as if all wealth is aspirational. They feel as if they believe so much in individualism, the concept of working so hard until you become a millionaire or a billionaire, forgetting the fact that poverty is a systemic issue. I don't even think most of us are aware or very educated on the fact, and education does not mean formal education. I mean just basic awareness of how this world is structured, that poverty is a systemic issue, okay? And the way Nigerians are living, Nigeria is in a very has been plunged into a very deep state of poverty, and no amount of hustling will get anybody out. So my whole thing is that is the reality of most Nigerians. In fact, the majority of Nigerians are living in poverty. No matter how stable you think you are living in poverty. Quality of life is very bad. We don't have choices. We don't have variety. We only see what is available and we take it and make the best of it mentally. We are kind of enslaved mentally as well. We have been captured. So the only people that get to enjoy life, and it's not even real enjoyment, it's like basic fucking privileges of a vacation, of choices in different kinds of meal, of quality of life, you get, having constant electricity, constant water supply, living without fear of being kidnapped, and being able to travel within the country, even domestically. All of those things are just the basics that should be available to every citizen of a country, that should be affordable to every citizen of the country, but Nigerians cannot afford two things I mentioned at the same time. So all of that to say, all that is the background of what Nigeria is. So because of how bad it is recently under the administration, now the worship of wealth has become even more exaggerated, yes. Before, it was sort of this under the mask, under the cover of let's just finish our education now. But now that there's no road, even despite your education, you still have to go save money, your parents have to sell their property to send you abroad so that you can have another degree, just so you can get a job in that foreign country. Now that it's that bad, that people are literally actively running away from the country, people have been running, but en masse migration has been happening, despite it getting harder. Nigeria being put on the list of countries that most other countries should reject their visa applications. Despite all of that, the worship of wealth has become because people are clinging desperately onto it to escape. Because if we look at the system, our system is providing us no way out of this horror. So people are clinging desperately to individualization. They are clinging desperately to the wealth, to the ladder of wealth. And so that's why you see that those children that were tiny like us when we were growing up, millennial kids of the billionaire class in our country, the parasitic billionaire class in our country, now they are grown adults. All of us are adults now, and the massive difference in our classes is so apparent, And those people, the thing about the billionaire classes, it's not enough to have wealth. They have to also rub it in the faces of people that don't. That is how they get their value from their wealth. That is the major thing they enjoy. When they can splurge money on nonsense, money that they did not work for. You can splash it and spend on nonsense. You get, and then now that we're in this era of social media where everybody's being surveilled through the web, through the interweb, you know, the whole pressure to perform and not be seen as poor. Poverty is now seen as something like of a disgrace. Instead of to be seen as the failure of the system we exist in, failure of people in charge of the system. People are internalizing it, Nigerians especially, because there's always been the worship of wealth. They believe that God is going to bless, God is going to favor it, believe that you're going to get the contract that will change your life, all those kind of things. So now that everything is exaggerated, adding the whole glance of TikTok, Instagram and all of that social media, people feel much more desperate. Apple is making more and more variations of iPhones, bleeding the Congo dry, using children in Congo to mine lithium for their stupid phones, yeah, and costing those phones at exorbitant prices, even for their own people, even for Americans. Americans are paying how many loans to get the latest iPhone. Nigerians are buying it, and they're not buying it through legal means. They are doing fraud, they are doing different things, and the billionaire class, their children too are buying it, and they're showing it all off. So like iPhones have always been this class signifier among millennials stroke Gen Zs. You get so all of those things, I'm just giving you this background of how Nigeria sucks. You get, so I'm going to like play this video. I'm going to react to the blatant, like, I just want to express my disgust for the people that made this video, for the people that are in this video, and for the poor people, the ordinary Nigerian that they brought up to be put through this humiliation ritual, like, to recognize how what they are doing, you get, it's not normal, it's not logical, it is a symptom of the disease, the rot, that they think they are going to escape from, okay, by appearing on shows like this. I don't know how much they were paid for it. You get, obviously, everybody's trying to survive, so people can just take any gigs. But at the end of the day, that's the point of capitalism and neoliberalism, neocolonialism that is ruining this country, is that you keep on selling your soul out instead of holding on to it. As painful as it seems, the only way out of this hell that we are in Nigeria is to hold on to our integrity. But if we are a country that has been conditioned to worship wealth, and wealth has been this thing that you can only get through corrupt means, you get, what does that mean? Okay, so let's just watch this video. I'm going to give my thoughts on it. I've already talked too much. So this video is a panel of three rich people, that Sarah, Hiya E.Ts, and Perlix. I don't know these people, I've never heard of them in my life. And Nigeria's called the opposite of a Nepo baby, Lapo baby. I don't know what that means, but it's definitely poverty, poor children of poor parents, yeah. And Lagos is divided into the mainland and the island, okay, class differences. But on the island, there's also hierarchies within that island, yeah. So, but me, I'm not familiar with the geography of it all. You understand? You're living on the island, that's all I know. And you're living on the mainland, that's all I know. Okay, but you will notice some level of demarcation between these people, these wealthy children, these Nepo kids. Calling them children is even an insult. What do you call them? Offsprings of the parasitic class. You notice them make fun of people that come in front of them to be judged as whether they belong to their own class or not. So it's like the bourgeoisie and the extremely wealthy of Nigeria, like the ruling class of Nigeria, their children are coming on public platforms to humiliate, to humiliate poor people, basically. Poor people. So let's just watch it. So the video starts off with these three people, the wealthy people on the panel, and then one by one the poor people come and be judged. Okay. So that's the first thing I want to say. I don't know their names. I guess the person in the middle is a lady, her name is Hiya, but the others I don't know who spelled it. I don't know if it's Rahim or whatever.
Stuff is not getting easier, man. What's your name, brother?
My name is Gabriel.
What's that in your hand?
My phone.
What phone is that?
iPhone 14 Pro.
Dope.
Thank you.
Wait.
iPhone 14 Pro. And this guy immediately responds dope, but it's such a condescending manner, like, wow, yeah, you see your a little kids, doing cartwheels, and you're like, okay, good job. Like, what does that do? Nothing. Just wants to show you that he's doing something great, and in the grand scheme of things, it's meaningless. Why is it why does this Lapo guy feel the need to say thank you because somebody says your iPhone 14 Pro is dope? Does that make any sense? What is it thank you for? Like, oh, thank you. That means, oh, maybe you recognize that I am worthy to be your presence.
ASOS.
ASOS, I guess, is a designer brand.
Nike what?
Okay, somebody's asking about his shoes and he says Nike. I feel like what year was it that all these big Nike, Puma, they said that they don't ship to Nigeria. All these Hermes, all these big brands, they don't ship to Africa, in fact. So if you are seeing somebody say they bought original Gucci or Hermes or Puma, whatever, in Nigeria or in any place in Africa, it's fake.
I don't know, I got it from my friend, got it for me. Can you turn to the side?
Okay, you notice Gabriel, the Lapo person, the Lapo adult here. You notice him affecting some sort of accent. Okay, you can tell that he's struggling with the way he's speaking because he doesn't want to relax into his regular mannerism of speech. His regular local accent. Local implies made in Nigeria. It does not mean less than good. Like, I don't know, Nigeria. Also, one thing about Nigeria is another signifier of class is your mannerism of speaking. Crazy.
It's supposed to be like fire. That's not Nike.
God. Something you also know about these Nepo people, I'm not calling them babies, they're adults. What I know about them is that when they want to mock this Gabriel guy, you see them relax they'll affect a Nigerian manner of speaking, like the local dialect, local accent here, they'll affect it. But when they want to give him this crumbs of, wonder that he's expecting, they will not start doing their usual American accent because they grow up abroad or they are used to being around foreigners for a very large majority part of their life. So obviously foreigners are not going to understand your Nigerian accent from what I've experienced. No matter how much you think you can enunciate your words in English, if you don't affect an American accent or a UK accent around those foreigners or those Igbo people, they'll pretend that they don't understand what you're saying just to be obtuse. You get? And these people, after a while of doing it, they probably were conditioned to doing it. Yeah, they don't understand that they're also victims, dummies. So when you're not giving crumbs of oh, okay, I see you, they will now affect the American accent will now come out naturally because, oh, okay, signify of class commonality. Like, maybe you are a part of our class or something like that. And it pisses me so fucking bad. It makes me so enraged.
Yeah, kind of.
Look at this other one saying, in pidgin, you sabi me abi, as if he is a local. And he's trying to for the cameras, also know that the camera is the third viewer here. And the camera is representing us, the viewers of this channel, okay? And majority of us that watch this channel, we are Nigerians living in Nigeria. So they are aware of their position in this place. And so when they want to get a little bit of connection with the audience, they will now start to do their nonsense, fake pigeon rubbish. Imagine him saying, you sabi me, then hear what he says next.
You know me? You know him? No. You know him? Yes. That's on the
See what she does. The lady in the Hiya E.Ts, I think that's Hiya E.Ts. She say, after saying, you know me, you know him, now say, it's on the enter. They can switch between, because that is what they are. They are chameleons. Okay? They are chameleons. They have no affiliations, no loyalty to anybody but their own bellies, their own greed. Okay? The greed of their parent, greed of their class. So they can affect any sort of accent that, would get them cheers and applause. Because one thing about wealthy people, they love psychophancy. They love it.
What Noodles.
God, this is literally an identity issue that I feel like most Nigerians go through as it, like when I grew up, like in primary school. I don't know if it was just my own experience, but like when I growing up, and people say what's the favorite school food, and people say things like as children we say things like fried rice, jollof rice, before this madness of jollof rice and children, before Nigeria was like very front and center of the social global internet nonsense. If you say things like, oh, my favorite food was beans, everybody would laugh at you. I don't know why beans was kind of humiliating to say out loud. And then the worst was when you saw like children from like obviously wealthier schools, and they say things like, oh, I had Indomie for breakfast, and it's like, Indomie for breakfast or noodles for breakfast. Like, what kind of family do you come from? You get, there's a signifier of wealth. So I understand these guys, this Gabriel, if he reads to me as somebody that is a try-hard, okay? And so immediately he's asked his favorite food. He says noodles. And I'm not calling him try-hard because of the noodles alone, okay? There is the whole concept, like, where did that feeling come from, where you felt the need that, okay, I have to appear in a show for rich people to be seen by them and to be validated by them? It gives try hard, okay? It might not be, but it gives try hard. So, this is the noodles conversation.
What kind of noodles? Like ramen noodles. It's a type of Japanese noodles. Oh man, I said ramen.
So, he says he likes noodles, not Indomie. So, noodles as in those kind of Asian food like Chinese. I only know those things because of watching movies and reading like American books and all of that, or foreign written books and all of that. Yeah. So I get noodles is a food, and it's a very common street food that is very affordable. Once you're outside the shores of Nigeria, it's like something you just have. You can just go to a Chinese restaurant and buy food. And from the way I've watched it in their movies, and the way I've read it in their books, and the way I talk about it, the way you talk about it on their blogs and everything, noodles are supposed to be some of the most affordable, street food that they enjoy in their country. That is the intercontinentality of living, or the multiculturalism of living in big countries, first world countries that have exploited the global south and exploited the global south, and force those people to come into their country as immigrants just to survive. You get, so those people make money off of selling their homemade delicacies, and those homemade delicacies cannot be compared to what these Westerners term fine dining in that sense. So you eat Chinese noodles, you eat Asian noodles, when you don't want to cook. Basically, it's a comfort food. You eat it, it also represents, the state of your income at the time. You don't spend billions and billions on noodles. But in Nigeria, it is a signifier of class, because we don't have such multiculturalism in this place. When Asians come to our country, they come to take from us. Okay, they come to take from us. They don't come to get anything. They don't come to the way they migrate to America, the way they migrate to European countries. It's not the way they migrate to Nigeria. They come to Nigeria to exploit. To get from the exploitation that is already happening willy-nilly here. Okay, so they come here, they establish their restaurants as a signifier of the bourgeoisie. Okay, the bourgeoisie go to that, because I cannot go now. Where will I see the Chinese restaurant? Where will I see the Japanese restaurant? On the island. Do you know how much it costs for me to get from the mainland to the island? That's already half of somebody's monthly wages. Okay, minimum wage is how much? You can spend twice minimum before you get to the island, just because of all of that to say Chinese noodles or Asian noodles or Japanese noodles, it's a signifier of class. And he's mentioning because, if you say it's my comfort food, my favorite food, I'm saying eat it a lot. So that means it's not important to get Chinese noodles, to Japanese noodles, you get. And immediately, this guy's clocking. This worldly people clock his ass. They are like, and the first thing they mock, especially this guy, goes into singing a Rema song. So Rema is an artist, but the name of this, Japanese restaurant or whatever is Rayman, you get. And so this guy immediately mocks his accent. Again, accent is a very big signifier of class in this country. So like, what is this? Do you understand? Like, he's mocking. I don't like, no, it's not Rayman, I said, it's Rayman, I said. Oh God.
Rayman? Yeah. Where did you been to Japan before? I haven't.
This is so disgusting to see. It's like, okay, he eats Japanese noodles and there's favorite noodles and he got the pronunciation correct. What is the need to ask him, have you been to Japan before? That's so local. That's so fucking local. That is something a tryhard would also do. So these people are not even that level of wealthy that they are purporting themselves to be. Or even if they are wealthy, at the end of the day, you are an African man, you're in Nigerian, you have a black body, okay? You will never be in that class of wealth that your thieving ancestry has afforded you just by filling up your account with actual cash, okay? What do you mean somebody says they like Japanese noodles and they mention their restaurant to you and you now say, have you ever been to Japan before? That's so childish. That's playground, like playground shit you do. Like when children are on the playground, they're like, my mommy gave me this shoe with light. Your own shoe does not have light. Like, that's so juvenile. And it speaks to the fact that these people don't interact with people outside of their bubble, okay? Because there's no way you interact with a level-headed, well-adjusted person and you have that interaction and they'll be like, hello, are you normal? Hello, get down. Like, what does that even mean? Have you been to Japan? Because I say I like eating Japanese noodles. This point is supposed to be like, I don't understand. Like, do you mean that I cannot experience Japanese? Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, a lot of people live in America and they never visit Japan all their lives. They don't have money to do so. But they experience everything Japan culture in their country. So now what? Now what?
So how come you like Japanese noodles?
God, how can you like Japanese noodles? Go arrest. Go arrest.
So a Japanese restaurant. Where was it? On the island. Where do you live? I live on the island. Where? Where on the island?
Alright, now, location class. That is why Lagos just divided into, it was intentional, dividing the whole state into two, the island and the mainland. Now they're like, where do you live on the island? They did not challenge this clownish line of questioning from their peers, of why do you need to ask him if he's been to Japan? That's so silly. They didn't challenge it because they like to stick together. Once about the world class, they may hate each other's guts, but they will always show more loyalty than the people that are the lower class people. Yeah.
Where from? Phase 2, Lekki phase 2. You go that estate, yeah. You that estate. You that estate.
And I'm going to the logistic part, and I'm not really familiar, but I guess the way he's pronouncing the word, you have to pronounce it locally just so people can understand what you're talking about. And these people are playing dumb. I'm like, what is that? Oh my god, I've never heard of that. And then before I watched it, I saw comments and quotes it saying that anyways, where he lives is not far away from the Igbo phone that is mocking. So like, I don't see the point of this nonsense rant or the tangent.
So I live in the address.
They just want to laugh at him for laughing sake, because there's nothing funny about saying I live on the island and the location I live on the island is different from the location you live on the island. That's why the location I live on the island is less developed than your own, or is more in proximity to the mainland than actual island. My island is better than your island, and you're like laughing at him like do you see yourself? Do you see how stupid you look?
I don't know where that is, but that's crazy.
Say I don't know where that is. I also don't know where you guys are talking about. Does that mean I have to be laughing at you guys? God. Nepo baby don't know where you go from there. Oh my god. And they wear that thing with pride. In America, you see these Nepo babies trying to shake off the shame that is attached to being a Nepo baby. That is actually, calling them Nepo babies is to satirize their position, is to make a mockery of the fact that they are never seen as full-grown adults. They are just seen as people that are given that position just because they were born off of wealthy celebrities or whatever, celebrity class. And it's like, yeah, you're a baby. Meanwhile, this is a good full-grown adult trying to make their names in the industry, despite using their parents' connections and all of that. But they want to be seen as, authors, like artists or actors or celebrities in their own right. But people mock them and say Nepo baby. But in Nigeria, it's the opposite. You call them Nepo babies and they glory in it. They glory in it being called a baby, a full-grown adult, a full-grown man. A full-grown woman, you're an adult. Why are you glorying in being called a Nepo baby? Baby. You thought you're a baby?
Where is that?
Can you see? Can you see? You know, where from there I don't that like affecting pigeon, affecting. Oh, I'm so local. Everybody in the audience laughing me. Let you poor people, you poors watching me in the audience laugh with me as you laugh at your fellow poor. Ah ha 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 ha. This whole behavior, like open your dirty mouth, like what is that? What is that? You're literally mocking this guy for all of these attitudes and mannerisms that you're showing because you're on the other side of the panel. What is funny? I don't understand.
My guy, it is ramen noodles,
Do you know that I didn't even get it, sir? God. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. For you to know my own status. Are you saying that the Rain Man, I thought the Rain Man is like, I thought the Rain Man is like a specific name of the restaurant or the name of the noodles that he eats or whatever, you know. And this person here is now saying it's ramen noodles, and it's like, okay, ramen noodles, okay, ramen noodles. Like you could have said it, you could have corrected him, then it would have been, and that is what that other clown was trying to do, like Rema the artist here. And instead of correcting, they let it sit, and like they now mock him at the end and says ramen noodles, and it's like, okay, ramen noodles. Ramen noodles is not even on the level of the Chinese noodles I was talking about. Ramen noodles is something you just go to the store and buy and make for yourself at home. And they call it ramen because it is the noodles that's like, that is their name for the noodles, because there are different kinds of noodles in Asia. Like Asians eat different kinds of noodles, especially East Asians. They eat different kinds of noodles. They prepare it differently. It's not the same. But us in Nigeria, we know noodles as per this packaged product. Sold to us from companies like Indomie, Minimi, stuff like that, Golden Penny and all that. So ramen is just a basic name for noodles. That specific type of noodles, fast food noodles, why would I say processed noodles? Yes, ramen noodles. It's just like, that's just it here. And he calls it, that's Japanese. I don't know, making money in this country. Like, I want to see that now, but like, I don't know, it's just annoying me that it's fucking ramen that they want to use to climb the hill that is so, okay, he got pronunciation wrong, so what? So what? Like, we're in Nigeria and it's spelled in English letters, so what? Like, okay, got pressure wrong, but you know what I was talking about. My guy, it's ramen noodles. Like, you judge him and he's not a Nepo baby or whatever. And like, yeah, it's obvious. Like, it's very fucking obvious for him to stand in front of you and ask to be judged. It's already obvious that he's not part of your class.
Yeah, no Raymond.
Say Raymond, that's crazy.
3, 2, 1, you guys review your card.
Gotta be.
3, 2, 1, you guys review your card.
Gotta be.
If I feel like I die. How come you don't know Igwe for? You see, wait. How come waiting? Say it again. How come doesn't know Igwe for? Waiting be on shirt, like the name of waiting their shirt. Lapo. Waiting there they be. Nepo. Me, I be Lapo. They don't say no. Me and you go.
I get this guy's position now. So this guy's position is what? Do I call him court jester? I feel like he's occupying the role of kind of court jester role slash what do they call this position, where you have the wealthy people and then you have the poor, and then you now have a sellout in the middle that's like, oh, you wealthy people, let me tell you how bad it gets for the poor, because I was once a poor. When I filled my pockets with so much money, I am not part of you, but I can, make it fun for you guys to make fun of these people. Like, there's a name for people like this kind of interpreter poverty to the wealthy people, like.
It's just before Chevron, so.
Exactly, it's just before Chevron. Chevron is big and it's fine in that area. Like, why are you pretending not to know?
Bro, now when I'm like, you see the faces that they do? On VGC. Do you know Owonishoki? Oh, you should see.
Look at you. You are a Yoruba woman and you are glorying in not being able to pronounce a basic Yoruba word or a Yoruba name, and you're glorying in it in such as like, oh, that's so, I don't know how to pronounce it, and you think you've made it, or you think like, and you are happy. You have been robbed. You have been robbed. You are being robbed. How can you not have any connection to your heritage? And it's something to glory in front of camera for millions of people to see. That's something you should think about. Think it. Your name is Hiya E.Ts and you cannot pronounce Owonishoki or whatever they want to say. And you're like, Girl, get the fuck out. Get out of my face.
Do you know Costain? Yes. It's near K2. I don't know. She said Costain near K2. What happens there? Why should we know it? Do you want to take a...
First of all, Lagos has a very poor city planning. Lagos State is just poor. The planning of this state is just so fucking bad. Like, you cannot look at any, like, layout of our road in Lagos and be like, okay, I can get from here to here. Because you're not going to get from there to here, because the Lagos State transport system has been so sabotaged and gutted just to make road for so much corruption and thievery and exploitation and just massive what do you call this, neglect on a very psychopathic level. Just massive neglect. So you cannot just say, you cannot use that, I don't know where this place is, to form a Nepo baby, because nobody really knows where anywhere is. Like, I don't know. I cannot wake up one day and travel to Japan to eat ramen noodles, but I still don't know all the places people are talking about because I'm an introvert, I'm in shorting, and I find it very overwhelming and overstimulating to just get on a public transport in Lagos and go anywhere. Okay? So, yeah. So anyways, it's just so fucking idiotic, this whole show. I just wanted to react to this clip. The whole thing, I think this is just a clip of it. The whole video is, I don't know if it's out yet, but I'm not going to react to that. Unless you want to react to it, maybe I react to it on a live stream, but like, whatever, man. Whatever. Like, the whole thing, Nigeria is in deep state of rot. Like, Nigeria was bad before, but now it's even worse. The rot is coming up to the surface. It's no longer under any carpet. You can't sleep it anywhere. It's like everywhere. Everything is crumbling. Everything is falling apart. Nigerians are getting poorer. Nigerians are trying to plunge into penury. People that were poor before are in absolute penury right now. People cannot afford more than two things at the same time. When I say two things, I mean two basic necessities at the same time. You can't have light. And when I mean light, I'm not saying electricity from the government. I'm saying generator light. You can't have it at the same time as 3 square meals. You have to choose one. And we're here. Paris. But I feel like this is just a symptom of the disease. Okay. Nigeria has fallen into full-blown fascism. Okay. And so all of this kind of performance of entertainment is going to like be on the rise because everything is soulless. There is no meaning to anything. Everybody is a sellout. Nothing makes any sense. Everything is vapid. There's no meaning anymore because all of the sources of meaning and connection to your humanity, you have to abandon it just to survive in this country. And I feel like that's something that should be put out more and give it more attention than shit like this. But it's not until the country changes, until the country gets better, until people stand up and demand better upon everything. So, yeah. That's all I have to say. I'm so happy I reacted to it. I feel so, like, my heart is relieved that I've said them down to me. My heart is just like, alright. Don't do. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. I'll subscribe for more.